Hello, welcome to Film and Television Examinations, episode 14. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the zombie genre. Now, the zombie genre usually tends to focus on corpses that rise from the grave either by supernatural, scientific means, and it's usually by the people trying to survive the now ravaged world by both zombies and humans at the same time.
Arguably the most notable genre in the history of film and TV examinations. The zombie genre. You look at the movies, the shows, legendary through and through. Every film that has come out for zombies tends to be at least half decent or elite. The history behind these is fantastic. I mean, name some.
Back in the zombie genre started back in the 60s and 70s and was created by this filmmaker named George A. Romero. Yeah, he made like an entire film franchise which consists of Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, a remake of Night of the Living Dead, a remake of Dawn of the Dead, Survival of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead. And even Zack Snyder made a spiritual successor to his Dawn remake by making Army of the Dead. I recently just finished watching the Night of the Living Dead series with Survival on Sunday. Definitely a classic series that laid the groundwork for zombie films to follow back in the 70s.
I mean, yeah, easily. You could argue even Frankenstein is like what's the word I'm looking for?
Reanimated?
Yes, Frankenstein is reanimated, but the word I'm looking for, it paved the way for future zombie films. I know Frankenstein's not technically a zombie, but you get the idea. And George Romero inspired a lot of films and shows for years to come.
Not to mention video games as well.
Yes, and Call of Duty, I know
there's
Black
some zombie
Ops, the
ones.
World of War, the zombie modes that have been legendary from time to time. And you look at arguably the greatest TV show in history, The Walking Dead.
Yeah. So in the 80s, despite the popular Return of the Living Dead film series, the zombie genre kind of waned. But in the mid 90s, a little game made by Capcom, known as Resident Evil, and along with in 2002 with 28 Days Later, it helped pave the way for zombies for the early 2000s and 2010s, along with films like Zombieland, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, Warm Bodies, and World War Z, and obviously The Walking Dead, which, like Robert Kirkman said, if it wasn't for Resident Evil, he wouldn't have done the comic series for The Walking Dead.
If I'm somebody who just watches a zombie film or TV show, I want it to actually be scary or stay in the horror genre. And I say this because if you take zombies and you turn them into a joke, you don't know what the whole thing's about. Zombies are not supposed to be funny.
Well, they do, George Romero did some of these funny gags with zombies where this one time, one of the guys just handed one zombie a dynamite and then closed the door, then boom, it exploded.
Yeah, but if zombies are laughing, they walk obviously. If they're laughing or they're talking or they're acting like they're actually human, that's not what a zombie is. A zombie is someone who's dead. Dead. Yeah, dead. That's it. Nothing that you do could change the outlook of it. If you're going to just water down zombies to a Walmart version, you're no good.
Yeah, zombies are most of the time just a walking corpse that wants to eat a person.
Yeah.
I think
we've heard that one for the last century now.
Yeah, but which brings me to my next point, Resident Evil. As stated, Resident Evil was the one that revived the zombie genre for the 90s and 2000s and all that kind of stuff. But I know we usually don't cover video games, but it's important to say it. Resident Evil has had multiple video games, which include Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Resident Evil Village, and also remakes of the first of four games, and along with a movie franchise that consists of 6 movies and 1 remake, which is more faithful to the games and all that kind of stuff. But here's the thing: even though Resident Evil started off with using normal zombies, contrary to what you said, starting with Resident Evil 4, they made the zombies actually a lot more scarier. In the 4th game, they introduced people who are possessed by this parasite called Las Plagas, and they're basically mind controlled, and they act like normal people. They fight back actually with weapons, guns, pitchforks, knives, you name it. It's more scary when the zombie can actually think and they can talk.
Wild.
Yeah, they speak in nonsensical Spanish, but when the translation is, it's pretty scary when you know what they're actually saying.
That's a little different. I told you I don't like talking zombies, but
Yeah, but trust me, these guys are scary. They like
They are.
their
They are.
signature move is that during the dark segments, like whenever you shoot off their head, sometimes when you shoot off their heads or like they fall down, start convulsing, like this thing sprouts, the parasite sprouts up and starts attacking.
interesting parasites.
Yeah, and also what's different is that these viruses cause mutations in some people.
I figured that's what a lot of modern day zombie games are about now.
Yeah, I feel like some modern films should also feature that type of stuff. Yeah, that's all we have for today's show. We will be back next show to talk about the war genre, but for now, see you next time.